Spirit! Spirit! Are these the shadows of things that must be? Or are these the shadows of things that might be? I know that men's deeds foreshadow certain ends, but if these deeds be departed from, surely the ends will change. Tell me I'm not dead already. Spirit, tell me I'm not dead. Why would you show me these things if I am beyond hope? Spirit, help me wipe away the words written on this stone. I won't be different. I am changed. I am changed. I am a different man. Spirit. I think that scene and that moment speaks to the soul in each and every one of us. Can anybody say, or does anybody know what story that is from? That's right, the Christmas Carol, the Scrooge. And I believe that Charles Dickens was profoundly inspired when he wrote A Christmas Carol, the story of Scrooge. And to be inspired literally means to be moved, to be affected by the divine. And I believe clearly that Charles Dickens tapped into the soul's journey when he wrote this story. I think clearly it's one of the most popular stories ever told, but I also believe it's the most retold story in history, cinematically. There's been no other story that's ever been redone more times on the big screen and then on the TV screen than this story. None even come close. And the reason is because that story needs to be told. It is the story of our soul. It is the journey as spiritual beings having this human experience. It's the journey that we are on, the awakening that we are on. There's a Scrooge in each and every one of us. And when I say the Scrooge in each and every one of us tonight, I mean the Scrooge, not the one we think of normally. I'm talking about the Scrooge that wakes up on Christmas morning. There's that Scrooge awaiting inside all of us to come out, who sees the four spirits and awakens and comes to himself, comes back to himself. We know what happens next. After he sees his name written on the tombstone, he wakes up in the morning on Christmas morning. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as giddy as a schoolgirl. I'm as merry as a drunken man. You! What day is it? What day is it? Oh, what a charming boy. What a talented boy. It's Christmas. They did it. They did it all in one night. Well, of course they did. They can do whatever they want. They're spirits. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know anything. I've never known anything. I don't know anything, but now I know I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I never did know anything, but now I know I don't know. On Christmas Day in the morning, I must stand on my head. That's the moment that we see on the big screen the complete and total dissolving of the ego. 100% burned away and gone. And the arising of the Christ consciousness. And that's our journey. All of us. This is the journey we're on. We're all getting there sooner or later. Heading in this direction. This is the story. It's our story. The story of our soul. The story of Christmas. The story of hope, forgiveness, peace, love and light and generosity. The story of divine intervention, which is the story of Christmas. The four ghosts come to intervene in the life of Ebenezer Scrooge because they see how unskillfully he's living. Unconsciously he's living. So they come and they have an intervention. They intervene, which is exactly what happened on Christmas Day. And the first ghost that comes to him is his old partner Marley. And he comes walking in there, and he's got the chains and the big heavy weights at the ends of the chains, and he says, "These are the chains that I built in my life, and now I carry them for all eternity." And Ebenezer Scrooge looks at him, and he says, "But you were a good man of business." And Marley didn't like that. In some versions, his head splits in half. Literally. You were a good man of business. And Marley goes, Business? My business was humanity. My business was the common good. And I failed. But for you, Ebenezer, it's not too late. And Ebenezer doesn't believe it. And Marley says, you don't believe in me, do you? Why do you doubt your senses? And Ebenezer says, why, you could be just a bit of undigested meat or a little bit of moldy cheese. These things affect our senses. Excuses, excuses, excuses. The ego will make all the excuses in the world to keep the awakening of the Christ consciousness, or what I call the Scrooge consciousness. It is waiting to come forth in each and every one of us. The Alex the Sam consciousness, Bear consciousness. Put your name and put consciousness at the end, and that's what's coming. It's our journey. The awakening is coming. But what I'm saying tonight, that's where we're going. Spiritual beings having a human experience, awakening to the Christ light. What I'm saying today is, why wait until we come to the end and our name is on a tombstone to go, what was I doing? Why not step into that story tonight? Why not step into that transformation a little bit tonight? This is the story. It's being written. There's no denying it. It's going to happen. Why delay the joy and the peace and the wonder and the forgiveness? Why wait? This is the story of our souls. You see, Ebenezer Scrooge represents humanity. That's what he is. He represents the townspeople in my new day. The townspeople, humanity, and the unskilled and forgetfulness. Ebenezer Scrooge became the Christ. He became, his ego was completely burned to the ground, and he became the very essence of the light. And nothing had changed with him, in him, but his perspective. That's it. The Spirit simply came to give him some perspective, to look at your life. Take a look. And that's all it took. A little perspective. Whatever miracle you would like to create in your life, whatever it was last Sunday, if you weren't here last Sunday, think about it right now. It can be yours. It can happen tomorrow, just like it happened to Scrooge. When he woke up, everything was different. Everything was new. Everything was changed. His future was altered, completely and totally. And my job tonight is to do whatever I can to make the veil thinner for each and every one of us, so that we can create a new life, create miracles in our life. And I don't care if it means I have to scare the dickens out of you, I'll do it. Boom! The second thing we do is we allow those new thoughts to change our actions. Because every action we take in the present, which is the present, creates a new future, which plants a seed that we will walk into one day and wake up. You see, what we're doing now, being here tonight, changes the future. What we do with our lives today plants a seed and moves it into the future, laying the foundation for the change when one day we wake up as light as a feather. And every little shift makes the difference. We're all going there. It's our story. It's where we're going. There's no stopping it. You can't stop it. It's going to happen. Why wait? Now, in the Bible, in the story of the Christ child, it's said this way. When the wise men come to the Christ child, they have the Scrooge experience, the Scrooge consciousness moment. They come to the Christ child, and the Bible says after they have a moment of dancing, because in the Bible it says they went home a different way. They went home different. They acted different now. That means for just like when Ebenezer Scrooge woke up that day, he was never the same. He was going home a different way. The wise men went home a different way. They acted differently. And every time we act differently, it creates a transformation in the future that we will bump into one day and wake up to the truth of who and what we are. To allow that to happen. You see, each and every time we come to a crossroads, we have a choice between love or fear. Every time we choose love, we lay another gift at the manger. And we create a new future. Every time we have come to a crossroads and we can choose between a grudge and hatred or forgiveness, we just laid another gift at the manger. Every time we come to a crossroads, we can choose between judgment or acceptance and tolerance. We lay another gift at the manger. Every time we have a choice between stinginess and generosity, we lay another gift at the manger of the Christ child. And in that, at the altar of the Christ child, and in that moment, we alter the future. We alter the future. You see, we are more powerful, capable, and able than we have ever given ourselves credit for. Why? Because we make excuses, excuses, excuses. It's just a piece of undigested meat or a moldy piece of cheese. No! The eagle will make excuses till the cows come home to keep the Scrooge consciousness from coming forth. But it will. But it will. And each and every time we make that change, we plant a seed. It's what we do in the present is the present, and it reaches into the ghost of present future and lays the foundation for transformation.